Hi there, here's another little video just to show you some more scripting in ARMA. What I wanted to go for here is a sort of just something to add to the action really. It's going around, you may have a mission that does all kinds of stuff, tasks, etc. But this is a sort of mise-en-scene type thing where you're just adding action to the environment to perhaps build tension or whatever. So you're going along doing missions, stuff, cars are crashing, or helicopters and planes falling out of the sky, that sort of thing. So when I walk past this rock, you'll see that helicopter basically plummet out of the sky. That guy's jumped out. And another. So that's an AI controlled helicopter, and it falls out of the sky and bam. So it wasn't shot down or anything. My movement where I was triggered it falling out of the sky, but of course there's all sorts of things you can do with the trigger. So and in different ways, maybe you pick something up or something. But anyway, how is that achieved? Let's just go into the editor. So here in the editor you can see the rock where I walk past, and in front of that rock is a trigger. Flying over there is the helicopter, as you saw, and I have my player there. So what actually is the trigger doing? If we look at the attributes of the trigger, it's triggered by me being there, blue 4, and all I do, very very simply, is I set damage to be quite high, so it sort of goes from 0 to 1. So as soon as you get to 1, it'll be destroyed. So I'll change that just to so you can see. And I get rid of the pilots, so there's absolutely no chance of sort of recovery of landing or whatever. Actually, that one's just going to destroy it anyway, isn't it? But you could play around with that if you wanted to do that. So because in fact, if you just destroyed it with a setDamage 1 on that trigger, you wouldn't need these. But I wanted some kind of activity from the pilots, which is why I had it to a lower value. That they would try and recover the aircraft. It was like 0.5 or something. So I get rid of them, so it absolutely guarantees it crashes. So you could also put a countdown on there. Actually, maybe 3 or 4 seconds after, something like that. So in the heli, I've just in my unit here, I've named the pilots. I don't want the co-pilot taking over, so I delete them. Delete those two, and I've left the rest of the crew. So let's just go back to that. So in fact, I've set that to damage 1. So this should just be destroyed. So when I cross the go past the rock, I'm only using the rock there as a marker. So bang. So that's what happens when you do set damage to 1. It just blows the thing up. And you may want that. But if we go back to the editor, so it's quite effective that when it happens, obviously. And you could do that to cars or whatever, and still have the AI in there and sort of finish them off this way. Go back. So we'll make the heli damage less, 0.8. Play again, and then you'll see the difference. So there's a bit of smoke coming up the back, and but because I've killed the pilots, it's going to hit the ground. So it's a fair bit of sort of testing and work that you could do just to see what scenario. It fell quite high, so it eventually exploded. But it depends on the effect you want. Do you want to blow it out of the sky, or do you want it to effectively crash land? So if I was to do a little test here, get rid of my delete statements. So now I'm not getting rid of the pilots. You can see what happens. So I'm not getting rid of the pilots. The helicopter's still damaged, but what happens is the pilots that are in there are they're sort of fighting to keep control. So the AI is doing that. So again, you may want that sort of effect in your mission. So you see they're really struggling to keep the aircraft up. Just go back to the trigger, and what I've done is I've set it to 0.9, which is pretty cataclysmic damage. But the pilots are left in there. I haven't removed them, so let's see how they handle it. So because the pilots are in there, I didn't delete them. Those AI units have taken over. See all the damage graphics. He fell out, but there you go. Damaged but landed because they had pilots.